What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to show you how to tie some nock points. So a lot of people like to use the brass ones. You do not have to use those. This is a little simpler method and a lot cheaper. You get your knot point thread, and a lot of people, this is mainly for compound bows. This is what they use for compound bows, but I like to use it for traditional bows. So today I'm going to show you guys how to tie a nock point. You can do a single nock point or a double nock point. I like to do a double nock point. You want to start off with your single one first. So you will tie that in there and have your arrow nock high, and you don't want to tighten it all the way. You want to shoot it a few times and start to really see that arrow flight change and look really good. When that starts to become really good, you tighten it and you tie knots and tie knots and tie knots until it's thick enough to where your arrow won't slide above it and it holds it. So then for the second nock point, you are going to leave a small space below your arrow nock, and that keeps your arrow from moving down on the string. And I like to have that second nock point because I shoot 3 fingers under, so when I slide my fingers up, I feel the second nock point, and it's the same every time. So then when I pull back, I put that right underneath my eye, and it makes my my gap smaller when I'm gap shooting. So it kind of, you can do it for instinctive, but it works better for gap. But definitely tying on the single nock works great for both. So we're going to show you guys how to do that. So here we go. So you want to take about 8 inches of string, not too much. You really don't need a lot because they're small knots. Go ahead and cut you off a little bit, and we are gonna barely tie it on with just one strand, and you don't want to do it tight. Kind of pull it and even out both sides. So we're going to just slide it down a little. This isn't a compound bow, so I don't use one of those arrow balancers. I'm going to pull this up real quick again. So that's way too nock high. We want it to come down to where you don't want it to be perfectly level, because what's going to happen is, a lot of people don't think about, when it's perfectly level, when you go to full draw, the string and the angle of everything, when it pulls it back, it actually pushes the arrow up to where you're not going to have good flight. So when you get a little nock high and you pull back, it almost levels the arrow out when you're at full draw. And then when you release, yeah, like I said though, every bow's a little different, so you got to kind of tweak it and try to find that sweet spot. So I think we're going to go a little bit right there. So we're going to I'm not going to tighten it down yet. I'm going to tie one more knot, and then we're going to go shoot it. So I'll be back in just a second, and we're going to see where that is. So when you get that first part tied on and you've eyeballed it and it's a little nock high, you want to go take it to the range, shoot. Have someone videotape over your shoulder in slow motion to watch that arrow flight. So if that arrow is still kicking up too much, you want to kind of bring that nock down a little. If the arrow if it's point heavy, so the nock is kicking down, you want to slide that nock up a little more, and just kind of tweak it. Also, you're trying to when you're tuning a brand new bow, a little bit of that has to do with your brace height as well. So you got to simultaneously like take twist off, put twist on, and sometimes you can get it real quick. So all right, we're gonna go do this. I'll see you guys in just a second. All right, guys, so we took this bow out, we shot an arrow through it, we looked at the slow-mo, and it flies perfect. The brace height is good, and the first nock point dialed. So, come on in, brother. What we're gonna do is we're gonna keep that right where it is. Now we're gonna singe it down. We're gonna tie a knot. Then we're gonna come back around the other side, tie a knot. We're gonna come back around this side, and you just keep flip-flopping back and forth. And make sure you really cinch it down so it's not moving when you shoot. Once you get about like that, it's pretty solid. Take and trim the edge, and there you go. First nock point dialed. Alright guys, so that is how you tie a nock point on your string. It's super simple. Like I said, very inexpensive. When you use this, you can cut it off and you can retie it and you can tinker around, you can play, and it just makes it a little easier than those brass ones. And when you are pulling it up to your face, you won't risk it and like cut, you know, on your face if you're anchoring on your face like I do. So anyways, like, subscribe, and share. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Hope you get some cool stuff out of it. God bless you guys. Take care.